Do you ever forget bits that you've created and people come up to you and they're like, hey, you know...
Yeah. Justin said Andrew Johnson, and I said, do you mean Andrew Jackson? Because I didn't know that there was a president named Andrew Johnson. 2 weeks later, and I was living in Los Angeles at the time, walking down the streets of Los Angeles, and somebody comes up to me and is like, oh my God, Travis McElroy, I love the show. And I said, oh, thank you. And he goes, Andrew Johnson? And I was like, oh, hey, Andrew, good to see you.
Like he was saying it.
You know him. You love him. Please welcome to the stage, Travis and Griffin.
Justin in spirit.
Justin. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Thank you all for coming. There's so many of you here, and it's delightful. Even though this room can fit 200,000 people in it.
And we only have 100,000 here. It's so wild.
It's a shame. Thank you all for coming. Welcome to AwesomeCon. I can say that. I live in DC, so I'm basically, this con is in my blood. It's in my soul.
I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah?
I thought this was SawesomeCon.
Oh, Travis!
And I was so excited to try some of the latest sauces.
I'm sorry, it's hard to hear you over all the laughter from the 100,000 people sitting in front of us.
Hi, everybody.
Let's
start over.
Yeah, I don't like that energy for the start of the show.
So we're going to do a Q&A. Where's the Q&A microphone?
This would have been a great question to ask backstage. Looks like I'm seeing some... Okay, yes, we have them in the middle of the aisles.
You'll figure it out. You know better than we do, apparently. Okay, great.
Oh, I see. There's a microphone there and way down there. So, yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Because we have two microphones there, I always worry that people are going to wait in line and then not get a chance to ask their question. So let's keep it to 3 or 4 people in line at a time, so that way if time starts to run out, we can just try to knock out as many questions as we can and nobody's standing for too long. Does that work for everybody?
It works for me. This is not a democracy.
Fair enough.
We are the twin kings of this room.
So if you have questions, go ahead and head towards one of the microphones on either side. Is there any way, I don't know if someone's running the lights, can we turn down the front lights a little bit? They're shining
is hard to see
my eyeballs. I can't
all
see
these
anybody.
People. Hello.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Let's bounce back and forth. Let's start over here.
So you can give us your name. If you want to give us your pronouns, you can, and then ask your question.
And if you don't mind tilting the microphone so that you're talking into it like a ice cream cone. What?
Is this good?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Sorry, you don't talk into ice cream cones.
You don't even eat ice cream cones like this.
You don't eat ice cream. Sorry.
That's
Hello.
bold.
Maybe I do.
Whoa.
My name's Dan, pronouns he, they. I was wondering, I really enjoyed when you did the Trial by Fieri playthroughs.
Yeah.
And was wondering if you thought about doing that with other celebrities and other games.
Oh, that's interesting. So right now I'm in season 2 of Trial by Fieri, where I'm playing. So Trial by Fieri is one of my newer projects, but it's the one I'm genuinely the most excited about, in which I play in the first run, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Where everything is randomized, so all the items and stuff are in the wrong places. Can we cuss?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I heard one person from the crowd say yes, and I was like, "Sounds official to me, man."
All you need. We're good boys, but we just need a little permission.
So everything's randomized, and you die in one hit. So it's a really bad version of an incredible game. And
why do we keep ruining video games for ourselves?
It's so fun. And then the sprite looked like Guy Fieri because I found it online and it's cracked me up so much. So then we did it for Ocarina of Time, which is what I'm doing now. We just streamed episode 7 of it yesterday. And same rules, everything's random. I die in one hit, which for Ocarina of Time sucks. Because there's a lot of really hard parts of that game when you die in a single hit, and we commissioned a Guy Fieri skin. So in terms of other celebrities, no, Guy Fieri's the funniest one. Yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head. Do you have any suggestions?
I was thinking a Gordon Ramsay Resident Evil 4 would be kind of fun.
Gordon Ramsay Resident Evil 4 would be pretty good. I don't want to play that. I feel like I have to keep the streak of not dying in one hit, and that seems like the worst imaginable game for that.
Maybe.
I will sit on that. I will think on that. I will pray on that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hi, I'm Brian.
Hi, Brian.
My pronouns are he, him.
Hi.
Hello.
I was wondering, given how much stuff you guys have done, do you ever forget bits that you've created and people come up to you and they're like, hey,
Yeah. Minute to minute. Like, we'll finish recording an episode of My Brother and Me. I'll walk in the kitchen, and Teresa will be like, how'd it go? And I'm like, I don't remember
fucking idea,
any
man.
of it. There was a moment, I was just talking about this recently, one of my favorite memories. Did I talk about this, like, last night, where we just went on a long run. We had done an episode talking about President Andrew Johnson, who took over after Abraham Lincoln, and Justin said Andrew Johnson, and I said, do you mean Andrew Jackson? Because I didn't know that there was a president named Andrew Johnson. And then we talked about Andrew Johnson for a long time. 2 weeks later, and I was living in Los Angeles at the time, walking down the streets of Los Angeles, and somebody comes up to me and is like, oh my God, Travis McElroy, I love the show. And I said, oh, thank you. And he goes, Andrew Johnson? And I was like, oh, hey, Andrew, good to see you.
Like he was saying it in the shittiest way.
Yeah.
It's me, Mr. Andrew Johnson.
Former president, dead President Andrew Johnson. And I'd already forgotten not only the bit, but that Andrew Johnson was the president.
We hired a person who's doing more video stuff for us now and has been posting like TikToks and Instagrams, which are amazing. Please follow us at the McElroy family. I think, is it just McElroy family? I should really learn that one of these days.
You'll find it.
But these clips are from 6 to 8 episodes ago max, and I never remember. I'm on video. I'm seeing myself, and it's like a stranger to me, saying all these delightful things. But that is the span of time I need to completely forget something we've said on the podcast.
And it's great, because then I'll get on those videos, and I'll just scroll through and watch how funny I am.
Hysterical!
Oh, man, that's
not
a funny
me.
guy.
That's not me. That's 6 weeks ago me. I don't have any of the same cells as that person. You know?
Don't remember it all.
Kind of a ship of Theseus thing to send you off in a sort of existential dread. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Evelyn. I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, Evelyn.
And my question is, you guys did an episode of the podcast where you tried to interview celebrities on the red carpet and you couldn't do it because you were too nervous.
Yes.
So my question is, tomorrow you have a panel with Felicia Day. So are you going to be okay?
So here's the thing about it. So Justin is perpetually nervous. That's true. That's why he's not here. Because he remains buried in the ground for safety at all times, unless he's doing the show.
He's also doing he's directing the SpongeBob musical, which you can go see. I mean, we're close enough to Huntington for you to drive to Huntington and go see the SpongeBob musical.
It's very good. I was not nervous because we were talking to famous people. I was nervous because we 1,000% did not belong there.
Yeah.
Like, at any moment, the thin veneer could pop if someone said, and why are you here? Which many people did. And the answer is like, I don't know. Jimmy Buffett asked.
Yeah.
And we didn't think about it long enough. And now we're here interviewing people for a podcast on a red carpet for Escape to Margaritaville. But talking to, I know Felicia, she's very lovely and wonderful. It's great. The idea of looking at a stranger and going, I also don't know why I'm here, is my nightmare.
It was like to every person who passed us, I know we got clocked by every single person who went by. And they all had the thought of like, did they win some kind of contest or is the
Whose
small...
nephews are they?
The small one looks very sick and maybe that's it. That episode is a toughie. It's a tough ride. Felicia's cool.
Speaking of tomorrow, 10:30 a.m., Next Gen Nerds with Felicia Day.
Yes.
Main stage. Be there.
Woo!
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Sorry we spent so much time doing plugs for our shit. That was very rude, Travis.
To answer your question, it's going to be weird, but not because we're nervous. Because we're us.
Hi.
Hello, my name is Zach. I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, Zach.
Hello. So this is a kind of Griffin-focused question. Sorry, Travis. But, so me and a couple of teachers at my high school love, like, all your content, and we, like, play a bunch of videos and stuff, and we don't have work to do, and it typically weirds people out.
Yeah.
But probably the thing that's weirded people out the most, myself included, is the series on Polygon where you put Amiibos into
Griffin's
your mouth.
Amiibo Corner. No,
Yeah,
hey, listen, just in the future, if anyone ever has a question about this, all you need to say is like, you had this one weird series, and I know which one.
that one. So just like, where did the idea for that come from? Was it like...
I'm not kidding. There was a really exciting period in my life before I had 2 children. It was a very narrow window where we were doing a lot of video stuff at Polygon, and I was just really fired up because I'd never really done a bunch of video stuff before, and I, had learned how to do it, and we did Monster Factory, and it took off so well, and that was so huge, and so...
Thank you.
Sorry, there's a really great on-running gag of people just tagging 2 wrong McElroys in the Monster Factory, like, thanks for that tweet for Travis and Justin. Oh man, I forgot that made me laugh so hard. I forgot the whole thing of the question. Oh, it was literally, I was in a video call with the video team at Polygon, and I had an Amiibo in my hand, and I was so bored, and so I just looked at it, and I had the thought of I wonder if I could fit this in my mouth or not, and then I literally said it out loud. It would be, hey, what if I did a series where I reviewed Amiibos by putting them in my mouth? And then I said that really to no one, because I don't think we had any kind of structure in place yet. It was very exploratory, do what you want. And so I just made it, later that day. And that was the first episode of Griffin's Amiibo Corner. The Lord works in mysterious ways. I'm sure... Just show of hand. No, you know what? I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but I'm sure that the first time you held an Amiibo, you probably had the thought in your head of I bet I could fit that bad boy in my mouth for sure. All right. I know there's one person in this audience right now who's sweating, and that's enough for me.
I did do the same thing.
Yeah, you got to.
Series,
certainly
so.
now, yeah.
I thought it was based off, I thought it was at least partially based off of when they made, I think it was Switch cartridges taste bad.
No, that happened after Griffin, because then people were like, Griffin, put these in your mouth. And I'm like, I know they're going to taste bad. I don't need to review these.
Yeah.
They have bad tasting poison chemicals on them,
But didn't they make cartridges taste bad because they were afraid they were so little, kids would put them in their mouth?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Which I get. I love Pokemon so much. It makes sense that it would be good to eat it.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question? I think we answered a few questions in that one, actually.
Yes, thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Eliza. I use she, they pronouns.
Hi, Eliza.
I was wondering if you're in an improv situation and you completely run out of ideas, do you guys have any methods of, catching up and refreshing your mind and getting back on track?
That's a great question. I feel like we have structured, both formally and sort of informally, my brother and me around that, answering that question. Which is why, that show is not that intimidating to do anymore, either in a studio or live, because we have these footholds that we have kind of placed in the form of the mini bits that we do on the show, or the idea of having questions from the audience, so that once the energy starts flagging, we do not let it last like that for very long before we move to swing to the next line, so to speak.
And what's nice about the My Brother and Me structure is it is structured in a way to be conducive to I don't think there's anything left to talk about, let's move to the next thing. But also, if we get onto something and we end up talking about it for 30 minutes, there's not oh no, we didn't do this part and this part and this part. It's all very kind of cut and paste as to what you need and what works. And it was something that we had to get used to doing Adventure Zone live shows, where we would write them, whoever was running it, and have you're walking down a hallway and you have to get through this door and this door and this door and this door. And then get better about no, there's just doors floating around everywhere.
Yeah.
And maybe we open 8 and maybe we open 2 and that's fine. But honestly, I think the thing about if you're I need to refresh and do the thing is being willing to just end a thing. It was one of my, I took some improv classes at UCB, and it was that learning thing of and that's the end of the scene. Not because you finished the story, or you ran out of stuff, but because you didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And like that kind of movement of being like, okay, we're done. Next thing. And
Which
like,
is great.
just do that.
Which is great. Honestly, the reason why I think we're comfortable doing that is that we've always edited the show, and now we have an editor, Rachel, who is incredible. And so I know that if we do lose momentum, that no one will ever know.
And man, there's some stuff on the cutting room floor where we start a question, we get 3 minutes into it, we're like, this isn't funny.
This is nothing. Yeah, sure.
And we just cut it.
This was not one of those questions, though. This was a very good question.
Thank you.
And I thank you for it. Thank you. Hello.
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 Hi.
My name's Rachel, she, they pronouns.
Hi, Rachel.
I'm curious from a production standpoint, what is the toughest thing about working with family and people that you like in real life? And maybe what's the biggest surprise to come out of that?
Oh, I could tell, at least production-wise,
Yeah.
we're so forgiving of each other's scheduling things, right? Because
This is the worst thing about working with us?
It's the toughest thing production-wise. So
Okay, it does make it, yes.
Because to set a schedule that you stick to, because if Justin's like, I don't know if I can record today, Charlie's sick or whatever, being like, I don't care about my niece, we gotta make content.
Yeah, sure.
It's like it doesn't work that way. And the number of times where we went to record something and Griffin's like, Gus didn't really sleep last night, I'm just burned out. And we're just immediately like, cool, man, yeah, let's just not do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
It helps that we are in very similar sort of life stages of all having two kids. That, at any given time, I would say at least half of them aren't sleeping well or are sick or something like that. So I'm amazed we get anything released, and I think that is a testament to the incredible ability of Amanda, our business manager, who we do not, I think, make this part of the thing easy on.
Yeah, she's the one who's like, hey guys, you do need to record an episode. And we're like, okay, Mom. But I think it's also just like, man, sometimes, and it's not hard, but so much as it's just like, sometimes we just have too much fun.
This is a bad answer.
No.
The worst part is we have too much fun.
We have too much fun.
We love each other too much, I guess.
There are times where we sit down to record, and it's like 20 minutes of just like bullshitting and talking about stuff before we actually hit the record button. And as we've just said, sometimes scheduling is really difficult, and you start to be like, we do need to start though. If we could just start recording. Other than that, it's great. No notes.
It's really we've gotten this question before, and the true answer makes me sound like such a jag, but it's like it's almost all upside. Yeah. Pretty much, there's a lot of really good stuff, and I think that we are the exception to the rule. Well, I don't even know that there is a rule about. I guess Hank and John are out there, kind of keeping the brotherly set. Locked
the Property
down.
Brothers.
The Property Brothers, yeah. I don't know what kind of animosity exists between the Property Brothers, but I assume none. It's just
they keep wearing taller and taller shoes.
Yeah, right.
They try to be the tallest Property Brother. They're on stilts now, if they don't show it, but...
It's almost all upside. And I think the stuff that was hard, we have moved so far beyond. We are all really transparent with each other now. Maybe we weren't for the earlier part of our careers, but now we are really good at just being honest with each other and just saying hey, this isn't working, or this is, et cetera, et cetera. It's great. It kicks ass.
Yeah, it's also, I will say at this point, we've been working professionally together for 13 years, and it's really hard to tell where the line of this is really good and the upside is we're family, and where the upside is, we've been creative partners making stuff for 13 years, right? Because after 13 years, a lot of bumps are ironed out as you're just I know how you work, I know what you're good at, I know what we need to do to get this moving, and that kind of stuff. That plus family that gets along well and supports each other makes for a pretty easy process.
Yeah. Sorry if that wasn't the juicy, scandalicious episode.
I guess the worst part is I fucking hate Justin.
That's what I'm looking for. No.
No. Too real.
You rolled a 20. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. My name's Jake.
Hi, Jake.
My pronouns are he, because I'll never be him.
Yeah, I get it.
I haven't heard that before.
And my...
You haven't heard that before?
No.
Get on TikTok, man.
I'm all right. Hello.
My question for you guys is, when you guys were making the Adventure Zone, did you guys plan the story out ahead, or did you just kind of let it evolve as you guys were playing?
So we are still doing the Adventure Zone. The first season...
Sorry, depends on who you ask.
Yeah, that's a fair
I meant the first season.
Yeah, so the first season, the balance arc, is how we usually sort of colloquially refer to it, was, starting out, no planning, literally just using the Lost Minds of Fandelver module that came with the starter set of D&D. And then it was really just in a few big chunks that I prepared stuff. But, it's funny, we talk about this a lot when we're working on the graphic novels, that we started writing the graphic novels before we finished that season. And so there was some stuff that, we had to change in the draft of the graphic novel because 6 episodes later, it was like, actually, that's not going to make sense anymore.
Yeah.
So it was pretty well... we were really flying by the seat of our pants until I think maybe I would say 2 or 3 months out, I kind of saw where the thing was going to go. So, yeah. Can I answer you in another truthful way? It's been a long time now since we did Balance. It's been we finished it 6 years ago now, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
That can't be right.
2017, I think.
Oh, man.
Or was it 2018?
Why are we still talking about it?
Because we're developing a television show right now.
Hey, get pumped.
Hey, get psyched.
We've been in development for 3 years. Don't get too pumped.
Don't get too psyched. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, my name is Jaira, she, her pronouns.
Hi.
Hello.
I was wondering about, I'm a big fan of your podcast, obviously, but also Till Death Do Us Blart just gives me joy. I've listened to it too many times, I think. That's not good for my health. But I was wondering how the idea came about to do that podcast in that format specifically, and also if there was any other movie that could have been the one.
Ooh, that's all great questions.
So right off the bat, it's directly inspired by Tim and Guy.
So yeah, to reiterate the question, what was asking about Till Death Do Us Blart, which is our annual podcast we release every American Thanksgiving, where the three of us, for the rest of linear time, the three of us and Tim and Guy, our buddies from New Zealand who do a podcast called The Worst Idea of All Time, watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 and just talk about our thoughts, talk about our feelings in an honest and safe environment.
Yeah. And so Tim and Guy doing Worst Idea of All Time, the first season was watching Grown Ups 2, the Adam Sandler movie, once a week, every week for a year. And it's a trip. If you haven't listened to it, I cannot recommend it enough. It is listening to two full-grown men spiral in and out of control. It's so good.
It is inspiring art, and it's in all its form. But they've done a bunch of movies. They did Sex and the City 2, We Are Your Friends.
There was one where they went and saw Cats in the movie theater every day for a week and made other people go with them. Oh, God, it's so good.
Right now they're doing the Fast and the Furious trilogy, but it's doing them...
Trilogy.
Or the Fast and the Furious decology or whatever, and they're watching 10 times, 9 times, 8 times.
In reverse.
In reverse.
Until they watch the first Fast and the Furious maybe one time.
This answer is very much laying bare, that show delighted us all so much, and we were like, we want to do that too.
Yeah.
But then our sort of twisted, skewed view on it is that when one of us dies, we have to name a successor to continue making the podcast. So
by the way, my favorite one of those is when Tim had his baby, and Guy named his baby as his replacement, and Tim was so upset.
You can't bring my family into this. Yeah. As for other films, I can't imagine one I'll enjoy more than Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, man. That movie's got it all. Cirque du Soleil jokes.
So good.
Jokes about being a cop in a mall.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
I don't think we ever just... honestly, my memory of it is Justin coming in with the concept of it's Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 and it's called Till Death Do Us Blart, fully formed. That's my memory.
That was his Griffin's Amiibo corner moment. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, my name is Fiona. What would your favorite Adventure Zone book be?
Ooh. Okay, favorite Adventure Zone book. So I think mine is Pedals to the Metal. I think that's my favorite arc of Adventure Zone Balance because I really liked Murder on the Rockport Limited, but I think Pedals to the Metal is the one where it was the most of like, this is ours. It fully feels like the thing that we're making. I think it was Justin and Dad and I fully cementing our characters and their dynamic. And it being, for me personally, it was when I really, really, really fell in love with Magnus, was doing Pedals to the Metal. So in the graphic novel, seeing the car designs, seeing the actions, it was the first time we had like full-blown action sequences of like a car race being played out in the book. And so I think it was just amazing what Carrie was able to do, and I think it's so fun to see.
Yeah, I'm going to cheat and say the most recent one, which was the 11th Hour. It's so big, which first of all means it's the best one of them.
It's the newest.
It's the newest one, yeah. The one that nets us the most profit when you buy it in books. No, it's just, for one thing, Carrie like developed the art in such an incredible way, like incorporating like 3D Blender stuff in there in amalgam with the more traditional stuff. I really like that arc. I think even the podcast, it was the thing I was sort of maybe not proudest of, but I was very, very proud of how that all came together, because it's really hard to plan a time loop D&D sort of arc, and I'm just really proud of it, and so that book brings up real fond memories.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, my name's Maddie, she, her. So I have 2 questions, if that's okay.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Are they
that's
good?
too bad.
No, what's up?
I mean, mine's good, and I have one for my friend.
Okay,
So mine is, how are you?
Great.
I hope you're good.
Yeah. A little tired.
And then, me too.
That's not your fault. You all are great. You're energizing me. You're the wind beneath my wings.
And then question 2 is, did you guys ever play games as a family together when you were younger? And specifically, did you ever play Kirby Air Ride?
That's a really specific poll. No, Kirby Air Ride was not, that pink pervert was not welcome in our house.
Whoa.
No, I don't think we ever got into that one.
But we played lots of games. Yeah, I mean, board games, card games, video games.
There was always something.
I guess also like imagination games as kids or whatever, but who cares about that? Video games. No, Justin and I taught Griffin to read playing Final Fantasy.
Well, hold on. That's an interesting sentence.
No one else saw in him what we did. They cast him aside and said, this 2-year-old will never read.
But that's like saying, like, I taught Henry to read by sending him to school to learn how to read.
I guess that's a good point.
Good job,
basically, Griffin is what he is today because of Justin and I.
Yeah.
No, but like we played a lot together, and Dad and Mom played with us as well. Like if we went on like family vacations somewhere, there was always at least like one night where it was like, and now we're playing like Skip Bow and Phase 10 and what's the word I'm looking for?
Euchre?
The one with the dice, Yahtzee, right, and that kind of thing.
Couldn't remember Yahtzee?
I know, man. Bingo popped in my head because it's a similar energy though, right? Because you yell both of them when you win. But then we also, I would say, one of the most like direct. There was a board game called Hero Quest that was like board game D&D that we played a lot, and then after we had gone through all of the like written ones, I think but like we would make them up and just like play them out that way in board game form. And it's one of those things where it's like they will film that in like a biography no one sees about us, or like, and little did they know that was Dungeons and Dragons, but bad.
One of the most metal things I've ever done, and I did it a lot, is I would design little Hero Quest like adventures on the back of the donation envelopes that they had in the pews at church during church.
Yeah.
Like they would be up there doing, all that cool stuff that they do up there, and I would be like, I'm going to make a big donation in the name of... Oh, yeah, that's good. I should have held on to those. Unfortunately, I don't think we really played many of them, but I haven't really thought about Hero Quest. since then. So thanks, HeroQuest. Thank Milton Bradley. You done it again.
But that, yes, and also we would play like Monopoly and tear our family apart, and then our dad would cheat at Clue.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff like that.
Lots of.
Thank you.
Thank you. We may want to stop lining up.
Yeah, let's say
if you're in line, keep on rocking. But we're
gonna
about
cap
10
the
minutes.
line.
So, hello.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hi.
Mariah.
Hi, Mariah.
Any, all, pronoun-wise. In terms of living this life, right, that, as you said, is predominant. It might. I don't know.
God.
That's up to you. The part of being able to kind of live what someone called like the dream of it being predominantly all upside, as you say, and being able to work with your family and all of that. Has there been a transition between when it started and where it is, where it started to feel more like, oh, this is work? And within that spectrum as well, is there this piece where there other hobbies have emerged, where these might have been the original hobbies that you did for fun, and now there are other things that kind of bring out that side? And if so, what are kind of your other diversions?
Yeah.
So, I will say, as far as like, was there ever a time where it felt like work? Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, it is work. We have gotten throughout lots of things to meet people in all kinds of creative fields, and there is not a single one of them who would tell you like, and it never felt like work, because if you're getting paid for it, it's work, like, right? And so there always will come days where you're like, I don't want to do it today, but if I don't do it today, I don't make money to pay for things. And that's how America works.
And if that sounds cruel, I would ask you to keep in mind just sort of law of large numbers, how long we've been doing this. It's rare, but it happens.
And so, I mean, like, I think video games is a great example between them writing for Polygon and Joystick, and like I've been doing Twitch stuff and stuff. Like, video games takes on a different feeling when, you're playing a game to record an episode of The Besties versus just like a game you start playing for fun, right? Like, but I also think a lot of the same to talk about, like, where is the dividing line between this experience of we've been doing it for 13 years versus doing it with family. My hobbies have shifted, and it's like, where's the line between that and versus like, well, when we started doing this, I was 25, now I'm 39, and I have ADHD, so my hobbies shift every day.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, I never used to be into gardening, and now I've been doing a lot of like indoor and outdoor gardening for the last 2 years. It's like, man, but I still get joy. This is the other thing. I think one of the reasons that, and I love doing Adventure Zone, but Adventure Zone we have to prep for and like kind of be in, a creative headset. I feel like my brother and me at this point, we can sit down and record an episode hypothetically anytime.
We could record a 7-hour episode of that show, I feel like, and just jazz it, you know? Just black out in the booth a little bit and let her rip,
And at this point, my brother and me is still a thing where just about every episode, I can't remember the last time that this wasn't true, it ends and I feel more like engaged and more in it because it is just us like playing and having fun and everything. So it's still work because we do it for our job. But I mean, we've been doing my brother and me for 13 years, and it still is like really fun to do and really like exciting to do.
I think though we can put a pretty specific time window on it, which is when we started having kids to when we had the number of kids, all three of us, that we're going to have. That period was where a lot of things shifted because the time that we would spend on hobbies went and disappeared in a puff of smoke. My hobbies include watching Blippi and thinking about Blippi and listening to Blippi. Those are three of my favorites. So I think...
I really love pretending Blippi doesn't exist. Sometimes I'll just fade out because I stare and I'm like, what would a world without Blippi be?
Yeah, sure.
I like napping. But once again, I mean, that's also part of like growing up. It's part of becoming almost 40. But I think that when you turn a hobby into a job, it becomes
a jobby. Yeah, that's what we call a jobby. In this industry, we call them jobbies.
Jobbies.
Yeah. Little different than a Blippi.
Yeah, a little different, but that's a jobby, I bet, for Blippi. He loves just sort of going down slides. That's real. This audience doesn't care about Blippi at all, I'm learning.
I bet one of them deeply does.
Yeah.
It's the same one who wants to put Amiibos in their mouth.
Yeah, sure. Chase that. Thank you. I keep wanting to say, does that help? Because that's how we end audience questions during the Bim Bam, but that's like a bonkers thing to say.
Okay, we're going to try to move quicker through questions.
Yes.
We have 6 minutes left.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Ella. I use she, her pronouns.
Hi.
And I was wondering if you could do a quick favor for me. But so I think I'm stealing this phrase like exactly from one of you, but D&D was always like the last bastion of nerddom.
Yeah.
And so, but Adventure Zone Balance really got me into it.
Me
although
too.
I haven't yet actually started playing. And I was wondering if you could just like super basic, like come up with a character.
Yeah, sure. Tony Chestnut. Tony Chestnut with an
I was
I.
going to start with like class, and you're like, no, name.
Well, for me it was I said Tony, and then I realized it sounds like I'm singing Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Y'all know that song? Jesus, what happened to me? I used to put Amiibos in my mouth. Tony Chestnut, Halfling Ranger. I don't know the Ranger specialties, so just jazz it on that
has
one.
a slingshot,
Has
fires
slingshot,
acorns.
Fires acorns, and people give Tony Chestnut a really hard time about it.
They're like, why don't you fire chestnuts?
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, that's my name.
That's great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hello.
Howdy. I'm Heather, she, her.
Hi, Heather.
And I am a DC native. I'm born and raised here.
Hello.
And my understanding, Griffin, is that you recently moved to our fair
Yes,
city. So
I did.
I want to know if there's anything that was unexpected or funny or, surprising about DC.
So yes, me and my wife and our kids. It would be wild if. Thank you, my wife. It's so fucking funny every time. Moved to DC last August from Austin, which was our home for like 13 years, and we did it because there's about 1,000 times more stuff to do with kids here than there was in Austin, and that has proven to be true and awesome. We're like going to museums every weekend and like really exploring and enjoying the adventure of learning a new city. I will say the thing that surprises me is how much I have had to interact with a motorcade that has completely ruined my whole day. I knew that was going to be a thing that happened. I'm not even, gang, I don't drive that much. And in the last 10 months since we moved here, I've gotten stopped by the motorcade. I assume it's the president's. Does everyone get a motorcade in government? I hope not, but it feels like it because it's been like half a dozen times. Maybe I just have bad luck. Maybe I should just stop following Joe Biden around everywhere he goes. But yeah, that's the most surprising. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, my name's Josh.
Hello. Hi, Josh.
As a DM, and you guys are also DMs, what is the one piece of advice to help you keep yourself organized with these massive stories that you guys have created?
Organized.
I like software for this. I use, Scrivener. Scrivener is an app that is mostly for like novels. It like helps you draft a novel and organize all that really well, but it turns out that it works really good for campaigns also. I had a Trello board also back when that was a thing, like a task management tool system. I relied very, very hard on those tools. And now there's stuff like, Roll20 that makes sort of keeping all that stuff in a digital environment a little bit easier.
Record it. Go back and listen later.
That takes too long, my man.
So in all honesty, I know that for some reason, inputting information digitally is just a mental roadblock I cannot do. I keep like a journal and a pencil or a pen or Sharpie. It's my favorite writing utensil next to me, and I write down ideas I have. I write down things that people say, just one word.
Yep.
If my players say a name or say a thing or ask about a thing, I write down one word to remind me that was interesting to them. Because like when I took over after Griffin and he was like, yeah, you use these things like Scrivener, I was like,
you gotta hurry up. This answer's taking too long.
That's my answer.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, I'm Clark.
Hi, Clark.
So yesterday, my friend and I were making our schedules for the convention, and I'd starred all your panels, and I was super excited. And he'd never heard of you.
Oh, cool.
Like, at all. And he was like, I don't know who these McElroys are. So I pulled out my favorite piece of media that you guys had done, and I showed it to him.
Can't wait to hear which one it was.
And he didn't get that either. He was like, I don't get it.
What was
so
it? What was it?
Final Pam.
The Final Pam. Okay, sure.
I'm not in that one.
Whew, yeah.
That was why, Clark. That was your mistake. Gotta bring that third heat.
Okay, so we tanked with your friend.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask what your choice of, like, if you could show a person one thing to explain, like, what you guys do, what it would be. So
Yeah.
then I can go and show that to him, and hopefully
Right.
he'll find that funny.
It's your fault because you picked the wrong thing. It's not that it wasn't funny.
It's that I wasn't in it.
I do. My oldest son is old enough that I've started showing him some of our cleaner stuff. A lot of animatics, animations from like Louis Zong and Gio the Bio and Deep Blue.
BB and Doc love Rhythm of the City. They reference it all the time.
So I'll do those. But honestly, if they don't, I feel like a lot of Monster Factory is pretty representative of our brand. So I would not try again with your friend.
It's not. I'm not in it. Do the New Orleans ghost tour. It's great because it was like a 2-hour-long thing that we edited down to 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's only the best stuff, and I'm really funny.
Travis is busting us up nonstop. Thank you very much. This is probably going to be our last question. Sorry, everybody. We are almost out of time.
I'm so sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Taco from TV.
Hi, Taco from TV.
Oh, no.
Going out
Wait,
strong.
hold on. Wait, there's only like 2 more people. We can do it. Go.
Hi. What is your favorite non-main character from Adventure Zone?
Favorite non-main character from Adventure Zone? I mean, if you're talking about playable characters, I'm going to say...
No, the non-playable characters.
Yes. I'm going to say Angus MacDonald.
Yeah.
That's
the correct answer.
It's my favorite character.
It was Griffin's avatar in the show.
No, that's not
It was.
true.
No, in that I mean, every time we would say something to Angus that was like dumb or rude or something, Angus would be like, well, that's mean. And every time, it was a good mouthpiece for you.
I don't have a better answer than that. That's pretty much
There
it.
you go. Over here.
Are we doing one more?
We're doing it. We're knocking it out. Go,
Travis.
go, go.
Oh, okay. I got nervous and sat back down, but now I'm back.
Hello.
My name is B. My pronouns are they, them.
Hi.
How do you start DMing? Because I keep telling my friends that I want to DM for them, but I don't know how, and I'm scared.
I got it. Find one shots, like Honey Heist or like Crash Pandas, something like that. Something that's like you're just like answering questions to start the story.
Yeah.
Run one shot, one pagers. Until you get more comfortable doing it.
It's possible that they really want to play D&D. If that's the case, just do one of the starter thing. Like, just go out of the book. It's easy and cool, and there's cool stuff in them. And if you stop enjoying doing that, you can take them on a whistle-stop tour of the cosmos.
Okay, now you go.
That would be the case. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hey, my name's Rory. He, him.
Hi, Rory.
Your dad's hilarious. What's the last thing that he said that made you both die laughing?
I don't know. I can't think of the last
I'm going to say it here because we can't talk about it. So Dad texted us randomly, hey, my bootleg guy just got laid off from his day job. Is there anything you guys need? And it was the most Clint McElroy-ass thing I'd ever received. I just stared at it, and I was like, and I think Griffin said, like, just Broadway, right? And he was like, yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Please don't tell that story outside of this room. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hi. Do we... do it. Hello.
Go.
Thank you. So I'm Hope. My pronouns are she, her. Is there anything you want to see your career go, is there anywhere you want to see your career go that it hasn't yet, or that you're scared fans won't like as much that you want it to go, but you're scared fans won't like?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's never stopped us. That's never stopped us before. Gosh, honestly, I don't... this is a toughie. Because we are very busy, and it's tough. We're in a phase of our careers where it's kind of tough to, blue sky imagine what you're going to do next when you have so much going on. I mean, we have the Adventure Zone TV show that has been in development for a very long time because it's proving to be quite hard to figure out how to do it good. I don't know that I have any immediate aspirations.
I would say the only thing I have, and I'm not worried about if people like it or not, but I'd like to in the future be able to help people make their own things, produce people's podcasts and stuff. And it's something I started to try to do in 2020, and then stuff happened.
Yeah.
And people weren't buying up podcasts as much as they were.
Yeah.
But that's something I like to get into, is to help other people who have ideas for shows to make those shows and support them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you for coming.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Really quick, Travis is going to rattle off all of our stuff.
Real quick, tomorrow, 10:30 a.m., doing Next Gen Nerds with Felicia Day on the main stage. At noon, we're doing a photo op. At 12:30 to 2, we're doing a signing. On Sunday, we're doing a photo op at 11:50 a.m. And then 12:15 to 1:45, we're doing a signing. You can get the photos at the Epic Photo Desk in Hall A or buy them online. Autographs are walk-ups at Autograph Table in Hall A or online. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you all very, very much. You're amazing. Have a good rest of Awesome Con.
Bye.
You watched that whole video. Lucky you. You should subscribe to it or something. It makes you smart, like me. So have Fandom and follow your fun. Oh, and shut up and take my videos.